Cool. So we're gonna get started. It's one o'clock. I'm gonna open up my slide deck and get down to it. This is the accelerator week 8. We've been doing this webinar. So just so you guys know, we do this webinar every single week, Thursdays at 1 o'clock Eastern time, every single week. And this is a great place for you to practice private money lending techniques, strategies, fundamentals. It's also a great place for you to be learning about private money lending. And if you have not been introduced to the Private Money Club yet, oh boy, welcome to the party. You're in the right place. So I'm curious, how many of you on this call right now are in the Private Money Club? If you're in the Private Money Club, say I'm in the club. I'm in the club. Type it in the chat. If you're brand new, just say brand new. I'm brand new to Private Money Club. I'm curious to see who are we getting on these calls, right? David and Dorothy, what's up in the club? Love it, love it. Derry is brand new. Welcome, Derry. Have not joined yet. All right, Norma, take action. Now's the time, right? I'm in the club. I'm in the club. Private Money Club is I call this like someone was asking me about what Private Money Club was, and I would compare this to I gave them two analogies. One was like the fishing pond. You may have heard me talk about this. Like you go fishing, and if there's a pond filled with fish and you throw your line, it doesn't matter if you're a borrower or a lender. If you throw your line, you reel it in, someone's going to hit. Someone's going to want to do business with you, right? I've never struck out with the Private Money Club when it comes to my borrowing and lending needs. I also explained it like this. When it comes to private money lending, like when I first started, and these are lessons here, right? So education's starting. When I first started with private money, I didn't have Private Money Club. So I had to go out and have conversations with family, friends, conversations with strangers at real estate networking events and real estate clubs and things like this, right? So I had to do all of these extra activities. And then lots of times, guys, people didn't even know what private money lending was. So I had to tell someone, hey, this is what private money lending is. This is what I do as a company. And I had to get them excited about making double-digit rate of returns. I had to overcome the objections that people might have as like, well, how come my Edward Jones financial advisor isn't telling me to do private money lending? And how come I've never heard of this in grade school, high school, college? Is 15% return, that seems too good to be true. So there was a lot of obstacles that I had to overcome. So I had to nail down my elevator pitch. I had to get this thing nice and tight, get people excited and want to talk to me. With Private Money Club, imagine there's an elevator. Let's say we're walking into a hotel. There's a beautiful elevator there, but you never even have to get in the elevator because everyone is there in the lobby waving at you and ready to do business, right? It doesn't matter if you're a borrower or a lender. Everyone's there and they all got name tags and they're like, I'm a borrower. Are you a lender? Let's go. Let's have a conversation. Let's see if it would be good to work together. We don't have to explain what private money lending is. And I think that there's just a tremendous amount of value in that. So every single week at Thursday, 1 o'clock, we practice private money lending, best practices, fundamentals, things of this nature, okay? Real quick, I'm big on disclaimers, disclosures. I'm not an accountant, a real estate attorney. I don't have a license in anything. I barely have a driver's license, but what I am is a real estate investor. So I'm speaking from 12 plus years experience of working with private money lenders, almost exclusively with my fix and flip projects, right? So I'm going to share with you things that I've seen that have gone fantastic. I share with you insight that I've seen where things have gone absolutely sideways. I never thought that this business is absolutely risky. I never thought in a million years that I would be coaching again after COVID. But you guys, here's the deal. I had friends that came to me and said, hey, Noah, I was a private money lender. I lent to this person. All I had was a promissory note. And they're 6 months overdue. They're a year overdue. And I don't know what to do. And it killed me to see my friends losing money as private money lenders. And the reason why they lost, guys, why do you think that they lost money? Why do you think they lost money? Type it in the chat. They didn't have any education. They saw a great interest rate. They signed one piece of paper and they thought that they were doing things the right way, and they trusted the person because this person was on Facebook and they looked like they were doing awesome, right? So when I asked my friends who came to me and said, hey, did you have this document, this document, this document? No, I didn't do those things. Oh my gosh. Okay, did you ask them this question, this question, this question? I didn't even think to ask those questions. And it's like, what are you doing? And here I am. I'm such a huge advocate for private money lending because I know how it's helped me grow my business, and I know how it's helped my private money lenders over the years make money with their money that they simply would not get anywhere else. And I felt kind of responsible. I was like, you know what? I'm going to educate as many people as I can around this topic and let them know about what those documents are. And if I can help someone make a better decision moving forward, then it's time well spent. So when Private Money Club asked me to do this class and coach, I don't just coach here with Quickstart, but I also coach a program for Private Money Club that's a little bit more intense and a little more in depth. I said yes, let's do it, right? So I think it's making a difference. I'm having a lot of fun with it, right? So speaking of fun, I'm going to share something with you guys, kind of off the cuff. Is it okay if I talk about my day with you and how I was able to have great conversations and find private money lenders that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Private Money Club? Like, can I teach you some ninja stuff here? Okay, cool. So every single place that I go, I always look around and I ask myself, okay, is this someone that could be a private money lender today? Or is this someone that is going to be a private money lender in the future? In my mind, I truly believe there's nothing better than private money lending for someone who wants to make great interest, because you're making great interest rate on your money and it's secured by real estate if you're doing it right. Okay. So everywhere I go, I'm having conversations with people. I'm talking to people. I'm finding out what their goals are, what they want to do, and in life and business, what they do for a living. And by habit, because I've done this so many times, I'm asking myself, could this be a lender? And I'm encouraging you to do the same. And we had a little fun today. Today was actually career day at my son's elementary school, right? So I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. At my 9-year-old's elementary school, it was career day. And so one of the things that we did, my wife and I, so I don't know if you can see these stickers. So we got these stickers made, and it said, today I learned how to invest in real estate with Christy Duckett. That's my wife's name. And so every student that came in, you tell me if this is a good idea, we gave them a sticker, right? And the idea here is we're educating the kids, of course, right? But the parents, they're going to go home with these stickers, and the parents, I mean, once you Google a website, if your kid came home with a sticker on their t-shirt and it's like, oh, what is this? And it's going to take them right to our private money lending website and explain how we help people make money with their money. Brian, thank you, Brian. So if you still have kids that are in elementary school, go and volunteer career day. Let's talk about it, right? And you know what's interesting is a lot of how we talk, thank you, Angie, a lot of the ways that we taught these kids is the same way that we teach people who are new to the topic of private money about private money lending. The conversations were very similar. And I tried to find a good way to talk about what we do as real estate investors to 9-year-olds, to 5th graders, to 3rd graders. We even had a 1st grade class in there that was given us. I mean, the questions that they were asking, it was really cool. It was fun. And it was interesting when they gave you a hard time, they asked you a tough question. It really made it fun, you know. My son was in there. His name's Cruz. He plays hockey, right? He plays goalie. And so we talked about, and he was like dressed like head to toe in his goalie stuff because it's career day and he thinks he's going to go to the NHL. And so I told everybody, I said, hey, look, if Cruz goes to the NHL, he's still going to buy houses. He's still going to invest in real estate. He's still going to make money with his money. And what we did is we ran through some scenarios. We talked about how this is like real life Monopoly and things like that. But guess who is also listening? The stickers are going home to the parents. But who in the back of the room do you think is listening? Who do you think in the back of the room is listening? Not just the students, but who? Type it in the chat. Who else is listening? The parents, the teachers. Bingo, bango, bing, 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 bing. You got it. You got it. So my wife and I, we spent 3 hours this morning talking to 5 different classes and 5 different teachers. And 2 of those teachers came up to us after after our little segment, right? And guess what they wanted? They wanted a sticker, right? They wanted to go learn more about this. So if you truly believe that you are able to help people in this business by allowing them to become a part of your deals, by funding them, if you truly believe that, you're going to be great in this business. All right. And it doesn't have to be millionaires, you guys, that are our private money lenders. Private money lenders are an every average day person that just wants to make a better rate of return on their money than they're getting in their savings account, right? Do I have a picture of the sticker? I do. I don't have it handy, but this is what it says. Today I learned how to invest in real estate with real estate coach Christy Duckett. And our website is christyduckett.com. I'll put it in the chat box here at the end, right? So these little conversations, you know, are you having them on a daily basis? Are you looking for opportunities to practice your elevator pitches, to help get out the good word of how you help people? I hope so. I hope so. Tonight I have a real estate investor association meeting here in Columbia that we're going to be going to. And it's the same conversation. It's the same conversation that we're going to be having there as we're networking and doing. All right. So, all right, cool. I thought that was fun. If you got kids, sign up, practice your elevator pitch on a fifth grader. I promise you, if you can nail it and a fifth grader doesn't give you too hard of a hard time, they're going to give you the hardest time, right? The kids are going to give you the hardest time. So once you practice on the kids, the adults are easy. All right. So if you're just hopping on for the first time, my name's Noah Harris. I'm a real estate investor here. I live in Columbia, South Carolina. My goal for everyone that is on these calls is to help you build a 100% track record with your private money lending business and with your real estate investing business when it comes to working with private money lenders. What does that mean? It means when you borrow money, you pay it back. When you lend money, you get it back, right? Plus your interest. This is relationship based. And of course, we always look at the asset. If you're thinking about lending, you have to know that the asset is going to be worth more than the amount that you're lending. That's what makes this great. And if you are a borrower, you better make sure that if you're presenting deals, the loan amounts that you're asking for are less than the value of the real estate. Otherwise, no one's going to be lending you money. I am a coach for Private Money Club. I teach the Accelerator program. If you're digging stuff like this and you want to know and learn more about what it would be like working with me for an entire month, twice a week, for a few hours every single week to really accelerate this learning curve, Jose is on the call with the Private Money Club team, and he can post in the chat a link that you can actually sign up to have a conversation with Jose, because the Private Money Club does so many other different things. So it's not just about, hey, taking one course, this, that, or the other, but they have a cornucopia of educational opportunities, and everyone's a little bit different. If you're a borrower, your needs might be different than if you're a lender, so on and so forth. So I would encourage you to click on the link and just talk to Jose and say, hey, what does Private Money Club do? What do they offer? I'd love to have a customized plan for me, a customized blueprint. Thank you, Angie. Angie is a high level business woman. So for her to say it was worth every penny, that means a lot, Angie. Thank you so much. I enjoyed teaching you, and Angie's crushing it, by the way. Every single week, what we do on these calls is we work on credibility, clarity, confidence, and community. You know, one of the things, I think 4 things that stop people from being using private money are these things here. You know, there's a lot of hard money lending companies out there. There's millions of banks and things of that nature where people can go to request loans. I think why sometimes more people don't dive into private money lending is because they've never asked a person for $500,000. They've never asked a person for 200, 300, 400 grand, right? It's easier to go into a bank and you fill out the application and then they have their boxes and hopefully you checked all the boxes. And if not, you know, try better luck next time. But to be able to present properly an opportunity to an individual, I think can sometimes seem intimidating to people, right? So every single week, we're going to work on that credibility piece, including today. I'm also going to work on the clarity. Like, so you know, we'll talk about how does this work? What documents should I be providing? What documents do I need? Things of this nature, okay? And if we get the first 2, the confidence is going to come, right? And if you stay plugged in every single week with these calls, And on the Private Money Club, the community is going to be there to support you, and you're making your life easier. You're surrounding yourself with the right people. I look at this as a training every single week as practice. NCAA tournaments going on right now, March Madness, those basketball teams, they're working on plays, they're doing all of these things, but I promise you every single week, a few times a week, they're practicing their free throws. They're practicing their three-pointers. They're practicing their footwork, the fundamentals. So we do the same thing here with Private Money Club. Every single week, this is not like the kick the can down the road webinar. This is not, I'm just going to eat my turkey sandwich and listen to Noah talk about private money lending webinar. This is all about taking action. So last week, I gave you some different things that you can do every single week. I'm going to encourage you to make a move. What does that look like? That could just mean practicing what we talk about today. It could mean scheduling a call with Jose and seeing, how a customized plan could benefit you with Private Money Club. Private Money Club, you can join Private Money Club for free. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. If you're on here, you can join Private Money Club, create a free profile. There are some limitations of the things that you can do in there, but that's a great step. And if you're looking to just jump in right away, you can join Private Money Club and have become a premium member, right? And there's some added features to that make it beneficial. But also, if you're looking to take the accelerator class, we've got a new one coming up May 6th, and we've got an in-person event in Salt Lake City, Utah, April 26th and 27th called the Money Tank. So if you're interested in any of those things, click the blueprint link in the chat box, and Jose will set you up with a call to see if you're a good fit and if they're a good fit for you, right? Questions. If you have any questions, here's what I'm going to have you do. It's tough for me in the chat box to keep track of everything. So if you have a question, type it in the Q&A and I will be sure to answer it. I'll take question breaks. I will stay on at the end as well, as long as I have to make sure all your questions get answered for you, okay? All right, real quick, I want to see who's on this call because I can teach from two different perspectives. We can wear our lender hats, or we can wear our borrower hats, or we can do both. So in the chat box, get your fingers ready, get your thumbs ready if you're on your phones. If you are a lender, if you are someone who, okay, you guys are already going. If you're a lender, type it in the chat. If you want to figure out how to make money with your money, type it in the chat box. Let everybody know you're a lender, all right? If you are a borrower and you're a real estate investor and you want to connect with lenders, type borrower in the chat box, which is awesome. Okay, cool, awesome. This is great. 90 people on this call and climbing. Hey, Janet Barnhill, how's it going? All right, so if you are both, it's very common for people to be both. Many of my lenders are both. I have real estate investor friends. They borrow money for their fix and flips and for their wholesale deals, but then they have IRAs and they lend in their IRAs, right? Which is awesome. So, it's okay to be both. Lots of people on here are both too. That's awesome. All right, cool. So here's some fundamentals. If you're, and help me out, if you're on this call for the first time, type first time in the chat. Type first time in the chat if you're on here for the first time, right? So we practice these things, these next 3 slides every single week, okay? All right, welcome, Daria, welcome, Raphael, welcome, Krista. Yeah, okay, cool. I love it. Yeah, we'll celebrate you guys for sure. Welcome. So private money loan, what is it? The goal for covering these slides is for you to go in and be able to say this to a person, to a fifth grader, to a real estate investor at a networking event, to like the back of your, like, it like you're telling someone your phone number. It like the back of your hand. These are really simple things, but can you say it in your sleep, right? Subconsciously, we can blink and we breathe without even thinking about it. Can you tell someone what a private money loan is and how it benefits them without even thinking about it, right? In your sleep. If someone tapped you on your shoulder while you're sleeping and said, hey, what's a private money loan? Would you be able to tell them? I don't know, right? I don't know. But here's what private money loan, here's what I want you guys to work on. It's a loan secured by real estate. Okay, it's a loan secured by real estate. What are the 4 famous words? Every single week we talk about this, just like a bank, right? It's a loan secured by real estate, just like a bank. Every single time, if you're talking to someone and they don't understand private money lending, maybe they never heard about it before, maybe you have a family member or a friend, a fellow real estate investor, there's a big difference between asking someone for money, to borrow money for to start a business, or to a personal loan or something like that. Those might be like handshake deals, right? So you got to remember when you're talking to someone about becoming one of your lenders, they may have had a bad experience lending money, right? Especially if this is a family or friend type of scenario, okay? So we got to like communicate that this is nothing like that. This is no handshake deal. So every single thing that we do, we think and act like the bank thinks and act. You are the bank as the lender, right? You are essentially going to someone. So we want to be able to make this legit, right? We want to do this the right way. And to help people understand that and visualize that, I will say to folks, hey, do you own your own house? Yes, I own my own house. Okay, fantastic. Let me ask you a question. When you went and you bought your house, you probably signed a stack of papers like this thick, right? And you signed a mortgage, right? And you signed a promissory note, right? And you signed, you probably had a personal guarantee in there as well that you're going to pay back that loan every month. And you went out and you got insurance for the property. Is that right? Is that accurate? And they're going to say, yes, absolutely, that's accurate. Great. We do the same thing. So as a borrower, we provide you, the lender, with a mortgage, a promissory note. We list you on the insurance, just like the bank would want, right? We even do personal guarantees, just like the bank would want. All right. So, and when you say that, you're going to start to see the light bulbs. Their eyes are going to get big. They're going to smile. Their head's going to tilt a little bit, right? And the fireworks are going off. They're starting to get it. Okay. So you start with this, legitimize it, just like a bank. Okay, that seems like cool. How come I've never heard of this? Let's talk interest rates. Okay. So I always say, hey, show me the money. And this is my example. Like whatever you do in your business, whatever you are willing to pay, whatever, figure out those numbers, right? But if someone's going to ask, hey, what kind of interest rates do you pay? If I'm the borrower, I don't necessarily want to say, oh, I pay 15%, right? Like, oh, 15%, like, just gave away the farm, right? Lenders, I'm sure, like that are on this call, right? But figure out what your numbers are. So for us, my wife, Christy, and I, we pay anywhere from 8 to 12%. And this is like a fix and flip type of scenario. Annualized interest, right? And each opportunity is unique. All right. Each opportunity is unique. So we pay anywhere from 8 to 12% annualized interest. Each opportunity is unique. So whatever you're paying, let's practice being able to say that, okay? And have it come out super smooth, all right? So here's the documents that we're using every single time. And this is just a start, all right? This is just a start. This is what gets the conversation going, okay? On both sides of the spectrum. So if you are a borrower, I'm going to be bragging to my lenders that I'm using a promissory note, I'm using a mortgage or a deed of trust, depending on the state. I'm providing a personal guarantee as well. And I'm going to list my lenders on the insurance policies, just like a bank would want. All right, just like a bank would want. In my accelerator coaching class, we go kind of like next level with this and talk about things like lenders, title policies, and things like that. There are things that a lender and a borrower are going to want to talk about and knock out in addition to this. But for explaining purposes, to get people excited, to have them understand a little bit about the benefits and how their money is protected and secured, these are the Fab Four right here. This is what we're sharing, okay? And if you want to learn more with me, come join the accelerator class or stay plugged in on these weekly webinars, and we'll start talking about some of those other things, okay? But this is going to get people perked up. This is going to get them interested and have them help them understand what the deal is, all right? Are you guys practicing this stuff? Like those of you that have been on the call with me for the last 8 weeks, are you practicing being able to rapid fire off of these documents? This is going to make a big difference, right? This is going to make a big difference. The people that came to me and said, "Hey, I've lost money. I think I'm going to lose money. I'm really concerned. It's been 6 months and I haven't heard from the person." Maybe they only had one of these 4 documents, right? And maybe they didn't have the mortgage or the deed of trust. Maybe they didn't talk about personal guarantees and get proof of insurance before wiring the funds and things of this nature, right? So these are here to protect you What? Oh, Paul, I love it. I have it printed out on a 3x5 card and I review it daily. Beautiful. That's almost as good as getting it tattooed on your forearm. I love that. That is amazing. Janet Barnhill says getting better with time, and the more we do, the better we get. Yeah, absolutely. I know Janet. Janet's been on the lending side and the borrowing side of this equation, right? So you're getting some real world experience and lessons in there too, which is awesome to see.
You ever feel like you don't have control of your real estate business or your money? That's right. The big banks and the institutions, they're in control, right? I know you felt that before. Private Money Club puts you back in the driver's seat. As members often tell us, it's a total game changer. Join the community of like-minded lenders and borrowers by going to privatemoneyclub.com and sign up.
And this is really important too. We're going to talk about this today. Show me the money. All of the documents are prepared and recorded by a licensed professional, right? All the documents are prepared and recorded by a licensed professional. And if you got a question, put it in the Q&A, okay? If it's in the Q&A, then I know it's for me. If I see a question mark, I'm like, I might get sidetracked, lose my train of thought. You might be asking someone else a question. If it's for me, post it in the Q&A and I'll be sure to answer it for you, all right? So we're using closing attorneys, we're using title agents, right? To handle the closings, to help us draft these documents, to review documents every single time, okay? Every single time. When you get real good at this, when you sit down with someone and explain how all of this works, there's going to be opportunities where someone might say, wow, do I make the check out to you? Like, how does this work? And you got to have them pump the brakes and be like, whoa, slow down, slow down. Everything that we do is through a licensed real estate attorney, title company. Let me get you in contact with them and we can take it from there, okay? How good is a deed of trust or a lien if it isn't filed with the county? I don't know how good it is, but if you don't get it filed, here's what's going to happen, Long. And this is an important question, so I'm going to answer it even though it's not in the Q&A. I would absolutely get that thing filed as quickly as possible because liens have nothing to do with how much money they are or anything of this nature. Liens are filed on properties by the date with which have priority on properties by the date with which they are filed. So if you have a mortgage and it hasn't been recorded with the county, but then let's say the borrower doesn't pay a contractor and the contractor goes and slaps a lien on the property, a mechanics lien. Well, that mechanics lien is going to be first position and then your mortgage is going to be second, right? So if you have a mortgage, absolutely record it. And this is why I like to have the real estate attorneys and the title companies handle the funds. And I like to make them responsible for recording the deed and deed of trust and the mortgage, because lots of times they can do it right away. In most counties, at least the ones I operate in, this is done like the same day. It's just all done online now, right? Some of the more rural areas might take a little bit longer. So there's really no excuse for a deed or mortgage to not be recorded. It's okay, Long. I'm just having fun. That's a great question. Everyone on this call just benefited by you asking it. So thank you and keep them coming. All right. Where else can a real estate investor borrow all that money, borrow all the money that they need to fund a real estate deal without having to go to a bank? That's a question for lenders. Okay. This is a question for lenders. So if you're on this call and you're a lender, one of the things I teach accelerator students is to start building relationships with people who have proven track records as real estate agents, but maybe they don't do private money lending yet. Maybe they're not working with private money lenders yet. Maybe they're using hard money lenders. Maybe they're using their own cash, right? So as a lender, I like to teach people how can you find the real estate investor that's crushing it, but they're using all their own money, or they're using a hard money lending company, and the hard money lending company is charging them 13% and 3 points. So I would start interviewing people as a lender and say, okay, let me ask you a question. How are you funding your deals right now? Oh, you're using a hard money lending company? Oh, tell me about that. Yeah, how much are you paying? I'm paying 14%. Wow, 14%. What if I could pay you what if you could pay me 13%? I'll be your lender, right? And I can fund you as much money, all the money that you need to do the deal. Would that be something that you might be interested in, right? So that's a question right there for my lenders, right? For my borrowers, let's get really good at asking this question. Hey, where else can a person put money to work at a great interest rate and have that money secured by an asset that's worth much more, right? So start practicing this, whether you're a lender or you're a borrower. Let's make sure that we're getting good at explaining some of these benefits here. That would be fantastic. All right, guys. All right, cool. So Private Money Club. If you aren't in the club yet, what are we doing? We standing out line? Is Jose got the clipboard? He's like the security guard. He's not letting you in yet. You know, are you not on the list? Get on the list, right? What are you doing? If you're brand new, join Private Money Club. They got a free option. You know, if you just want to get your foot in the door and kind of see some of the things that are going on there. If you are a premium member, it's really, when you think about it, I was talking to someone the other day and they were paying 13% interest, annualized interest, and 2 points, 2%. A point is a percent of the loan. So if you're looking to borrow money or lend and you're looking at like hard money lending companies, they'll show you the interest rate, but then they might mention the terminology points. So 1 point equals 1% of the loan. So lots of companies out there are charging 2, 3% points just to do the deal. So let's do the math. If you are looking to borrow $200,000, type it in the chat box. You're borrowing $200,000. The lender is charging 3 points. How much in fees are you paying? How much in fees are you paying? It's $200,000 loan, 3 points. How much are you paying? 3 points. $6,000. Yep, $6,000. I'm telling you, and my lenders, you probably got the greed gland going. You're like, yeah, I like that. That sounds good. All right, you know, good money. I agree with you totally. From a borrower's perspective, why are you paying $6,000 a pop? And let's say your goal is to do 4 deals over the next 12 months. That's $24,000 you're paying in just points. That's not all these other stuff that goes along with doing business with some of these funds. So from a perspective of just trying to do deals, meet people, $1,000 or a couple $1,000, whatever it is, I don't know even know how much it is right now, the premium membership, totally worth it, right? So schedule a call with Jose and he can share with you what they do. This is how I use the platform, and then I'm going to get into today's lesson. Okay, so with Private Money Club, you can post your deal, and then you can also post in the forum. So if I have a deal ready to go, I'll post it in the forum, and then people can comment, I want to fund this deal. And I can put all the information about the deal, my packets and all of that. People get excited about that. There are more lenders than there are borrowers right now in Private Money Club, would be my guess, based off of my experiences. Anytime I post a deal, I get at least 8 people wanting to do business and to talk with me. The other option, if I don't have a deal currently, am I going to stop recruiting money? Am I going to stop having conversations? No. So let me ask you, when is the best time to find your next borrower or to find your next lender? When's the best time to find your next borrower or to find your next lender? When's the best time to find that person? Right now, yesterday, before you needed it, right? So my goal is to always be having conversations with people. So I post in the forum saying, hey, here I am. My name's Noah. This is my experience. This is my sweet spot. This is usually how much the loans are that I borrow and the types of deals that I do. If you want to learn more about me, go to my website. I got a video, descriptions, all this stuff. Hop on the calendar and let's set up a 30-minute phone call. Okay. And these are things, and everything that I do it's strategic. I pick out my words with intent, and I try to do my best to really educate people so that by the time we have that conversation, they're like, okay, great. Like, I'm in. Like, what's next? You got a deal now? Like, what's going on, right? And so these are the things that we're working on, right? These are the things that we're working on. Okay, cool. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about here today, right? So when you go and you set up the whole goal of Private Money Club, in my mind, is not necessarily to get deals funded, it's to set up the meeting. And if you go into the conversations and you're making your posts and all of this stuff with the mindset that I'm not trying to necessarily get this deal funded, like I got to get to step 1 before I can get to step 2. And step 1 is getting the meeting, right? And having people reach out to you and having people talking to you and having conversations and kind of picking and choosing. Because Chris Naugle, the founder of Private Money Club, he calls this the dating site for borrowers and lenders, right? So remember, it's relationship based. So, as a lender, I don't know how much money you have, but it only takes like 4 or 5 really good people that you work with regularly to put your money to work. As a real estate investor, it might just be 4 or 5 people that you work with regularly to put your money to work, or to help fund your deals, right? So it's really about finding those good relationships within the site. So that involves talking to people and having meetings and getting out of your comfort zone and things like that. Okay. So, all right. So what I'm going to talk about here today, and I have people on this call that are students of mine. I do this big conference once a year in Columbia, South Carolina called the Re-Up, and Private Money Club will be there. Jose will be here in Columbia, South Carolina with us. Stephen Nagy will be here in Columbia, South Carolina with us, April 6th and 7th. And I've got people on this call, and I know there's also people on this call from other real estate education companies and things. And so kudos, like shout out to you guys. So coming up to my conference, and if you're going to a conference, you're going to a networking event, you got something going on, it's important that we practice our elevator pitches. It's important if you're going to be presenting deals, setting these meetings, setting appointments, the first thing that I want to make sure that you're doing is, you're getting off, is you're establishing your credibility. Okay. And this is really important. I'm going to wear my borrower hat here for the next 10 minutes. If you're presenting an opportunity, and let's say you're brand new, right? Let's say you're brand new to real estate investing. I could teach you everything that I know about having a one-on-one meeting. I could share with you what to say, how to say it. I've done this 1,000 times. I probably practiced 10,000 times. I could share with you what to say, but what happens if at the end of the meeting, or maybe even before you start, that'd be even more nerve-wracking. What if at some point in time, the lender that you're talking to says, hey, you know what? This sounds fantastic. But let me ask you a question. How many deals have you done? How many have you done? Right? And if you haven't, let's say you haven't done any, you're brand new. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Well, I'm on this Quickstart webinar with Noah. It's every Thursday at 1, they'd be like, what are you talking about, you lunatic? Right? What are we going to say? Even if you've done 10 deals, 20 deals, 50 deals, it doesn't matter, because in the eyes of the person that you're talking to, maybe if you've got 20 deals under your belt, that still might not seem a lot to them. I don't know. We don't know. Right? So how do we establish credibility in the eyes of our lender? And one of the things I'm going to teach right now is step 1 to doing that. And if you stick with us for the next 7 weeks, I'll cover the different steps. There's 7 steps. I'm going to cover step 1 right now. In Accelerator, I teach this the first class, all 7. Okay. But we're going to spend some time talking about step 1 right now. And that is surrounding yourself with licensed business professionals in all aspects of real estate investing. This is step 1. Okay. I recommend before you go out and you start trying to talk to people about borrowing money, especially if you're brand new, you got to have your team in place. And here's why. So is it okay if I share with you my personal experience that I had, 12 years ago, or however long it was, when I started using private money in a brand new market, in a brand new state? Is it okay if I share with you exactly what I did? Because I think you guys can benefit from this. Okay. So I'm going to share with you a little case study. So I had a real estate coach, and they told me, hey, look, Noah, you're new to Columbia, South Carolina. You're from New York. You grew up in Florida. You probably stick out like a sore thumb. I said, you're absolutely right. I don't know anybody. I'm having a hard time, building rapport. And I feel like this is a good old boy type of network and area. And really, that was all just stuff in my head that I was telling myself to feel better about sucking at this. And my real estate coach said, okay, here's what we got to do. You got to surround yourself with the absolute best of the best, and you got to ride their coattails. You got to ride their credibility coattails. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, you got to go out, you got to find the best real estate attorney. You got to find the best real estate agent. You got to go find the best contractors, the home inspectors, insurance agents, everybody that's on this list, accountant, financial advisor, property manager, accountants on there twice. It's so important, right? Sorry about the typo. bookkeepers, coaches, you name it. Like you gotta go find these people, right? And so I made it my mission. So I went out and I found a real estate attorney that everybody knew within the community, and they were voted best of the best by the local newspaper, active in the community. Everyone knew the name. It was more expensive, but that's who I went with. I went out and I found a real estate agent every day when I in the areas where I wanted to flip houses. Every day I drove by this real estate office, and this woman's name was on the sign as the top agent. I said, okay, that's got to be my person. I want the top 1% person in this neighborhood to be selling my houses. I went out and I found the contractors that had, the high ratings on Google, that had good reputations and good reviews. I went out and I found the home inspector that everyone knew, because real estate agents didn't like this home inspector because he was so picky. I wanted him on my team, right? I wanted him to be on my team pointing things out. The insurance agent that specialized in fix and flips. I wanted to find the accountant that knew real estate. I wanted to find, this is an important one, number 8. I wanted to find, my coach gave me this advice, so I'm going to give it to you. They said, you need to align yourself with a financial advisor, someone who specializes in self-directed retirement accounts. Because as you start having conversations with people that have funds and old 401ks and things, you're not qualified to tell them what to do with their money. You need to find someone who is. So if I have a conversation with a teacher like today, and they're retiring soon, and they've got a 403b, and they don't know what to do with it, I'm going to say, hey, great, let me introduce you to my friends over at Specialized Trust or Horizon Trust, and they can help you take control of that retirement and become one of our lenders and make those 12, 13, 14, 15% rate of returns on your money, right? I went out and I found the property manager. You guys are getting it, right? So if someone says to you, hey, tell me a little bit about how many deals have you done? What's your experience level like? Be honest, right? If you're brand new, say, hey, look, I'm brand new to real estate investing. However, I've aligned myself with the absolute best real estate attorney that drafts the documents, drafts your mortgages, conducts the closings and all of this nature. The absolute best. I've aligned myself with that person for you. They've been doing it 20 years. My real estate attorney is fantastic. My contractor, great reviews, 5 stars on Google, licensed, insured. Well, nobody has 5 stars, but maybe you say 4.8 or whatever they got, right? You follow me? Home inspector that is notorious for always finding the things on the properties that most people overlook. Insurance agent that specializes in making sure my lenders are taken care of. My accountant, my financial team. So now here you might say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Lender, I'm brand new to this, but my team is not. My team has over 100 years of real estate investing experience. And so at this conference that we're coming up to here, the re-up event in Columbia, South Carolina, one of the things I've tried to do for everyone that's attending that conference is I've tried to actually get my real estate attorney, my real estate agents, my contractors, my financial advisors, my property managers, and so my bookkeeper will be there, so on and so forth. So I'm putting all of these people in place. And my goal is for anyone that's there, I'm trying to make it easy for you guys. So if you're on here and you're attending that event, like network with those people and build out your team. You should be able to tell me who your team is, the company. You should be able to tell me the contact, how long they've been in business, and why other people like doing business with them. Why other people like doing business with them. Because if we say, oh, we like them because of this, nobody cares because it's coming from us. But if we say other people love them because of this, then it resonates better with folks. You follow me? So, and I'll go one more level with this, and this will be fun. So real quick on here, who's real quick on the chat, who's new to this business? Say again, if you're brand new, and let's say you're a borrower. If you're a borrower and you're relatively new to real estate, type it in the chat if you want to participate in a little role play here with me. If you're brand new, I'm going to help you out. So whoever volunteers, I'm going to hook you up. Okay? All right, so we got, let's go Annette. Okay, Annette, what do you do for a living, Annette? Type it in the chat. What do you do? What do you do for a living? Actually, if you just said brand new and you want to participate, type in the chat box what you do for a living now and how long you've been in that career. So Ammon says, I'm a registered nurse. Okay, this is cool. Ammon, 7 years, registered nurse, fantastic. Annette, 31 years, law enforcement, fantastic. Here's what's so cool. Lots of people are worried about credibility. Ammon and Annette, Norma, I don't know if you are worried about your credibility as real estate investors or not. Maybe if it's new to you, maybe you are, maybe you aren't, I'm not sure. I got an engineer here that's been doing it 35 plus years. Here's what's cool, guys. When I just saw law enforcement, engineer, registered nurse, credential physicians, credential physicians, that's fantastic. When I see all these amazing careers here, in my mind, I immediately think, wow, you are way more qualified than I am in life. You have way more crazy, cool, real world experiences than I do. I'm just a real estate investor. And here's what I mean by that. And I got a software engineer here, a la 22 years. Here's what's cool. So let's just pick the nurse of 7 years here. Ammon, 7 years, registered nurse. And I get this a lot. So one time I was teaching a class, and it was a 3-day workshop, and I was teaching about private money lending, and someone came up to me who was actually a nurse, and I think they worked in the emergency room. And she came up to me and she said, I just can't get over this private, like, who's going to give me the money? Who's going to trust me? And I asked her, hey, let me ask you a question. What do you do for a living? And she said, I'm a nurse. And we got talking. It seemed like she had worked in the emergency room at the hospital. And I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you go into your job every day thinking that maybe you're going to be saving someone's life? And is that a possibility? Is that a real possibility? And she said, absolutely. I said, have you ever helped save someone's life? She said, absolutely. And I immediately, I'm like, I've never saved anyone's life before. Let me ask you a question. In the emergency room at the hospital, do you have systems? Do you have protocols? Do you have procedures? Are you on a team? Do you manage a team? And it was like, yes, 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 and yes. So where the roadblock in her mind was that because she had this other career that she couldn't do this, when in reality, the same skill sets that made her an amazing nurse can transition right over into real estate investing. Those same skill sets. And I bet if I went down the list here, law enforcement, oh my gosh, where do I even begin? All of the things that Annette's probably gone through and seen. You're telling me that you can't manage a contractor on a job site? That's crazy. You're telling me you can't pick up the phone and contact real estate agents and build a team like this to surround yourself with? That's ridiculous, right? Right? I hope you're laughing and smiling about this because it's true. It's simple, right? So the same skill sets, no matter what you've done in your career in the past. I don't even care if you're 22 years old. I can help you develop and craft a way to have this make sense to you and to a lender, right? That's part of what we do in the accelerator program, okay? So I can help you guys. But here's what I would say. If I was a nurse of 7 years, I might say something along the lines like this. So if I'm talking to a lender, I'd say, Mr. and Mrs. Lender, here's the deal. For the last 7 years, I've been a registered nurse. I've seen it all. I work with a team. I have systems, procedures, protocols, and things of this nature. And at some point, I decided I also want to start working on building my own legacy through real estate. So I'm taking the same skill sets that I've developed over the last 7 years, and not to mention all of the education that I've gone through to have the position that I'm in, and I'm putting that into my real estate investing business. But before even having this conversation with you, Mr. and Mrs. Lender, I've gone out there and I've actually had conversations, added to my team the best real estate attorney in town, the best title company in town, the top 1% real estate agent in the area where I'm going to be buying houses, an amazing licensed contractor who has over 25 years of experience, the home inspector that everyone dreads because of how picky and how they find everything. They're on my team, an accountant that specializes in real estate, my financial advisor to help you with any questions you might have about your retirement accounts, property management for my rental properties. I got a bookkeeper to make sure everything's adding up, and I got the best coach in the world. His name's Noah Harris. Let's go, right? So we're having fun. We're kidding, but we're having fun here. So now here's the deal. That might not like seal the deal, but what you now have is their attention and their respect. And they're going to look at that and hear that, and you're going to put in the work that you've put in the work for that, and you surrounded yourself. It's going to be hard to screw up if you've surrounded yourself with the best, right? And so that might not seal the deal, but they're going to say, you know what? I'm still listening. I'm still listening. Tell me what's next. Tell me about your business model, right? And then we can start the one-on-one meeting at that point, okay? So this is really important. This is critical. So for anyone that is looking to borrow money, we got to nail this. And for anyone that's on this call, we got a lot of lenders on this call. If you are a lender and you're thinking about lending to someone, ask them about their team. Who's going to be doing the work on the property? How long have they been in business? Are they licensed? Are they insured? You can ask those questions. Those are great questions to ask. Hey, how'd you find this property? Who's going to be selling the property when it's all fixed up and sold? I'm interested in doing this. Who drafts the documents? Who's conducting the closing, right? You should be asking to see the borrower's list of team members, right? Be proud of this. But here's the deal. If you have a great conversation with someone, we don't want to be scrambling. Like, oh my God, like they're interested. Now I got to call and figure all this stuff out and put all this stuff together. And I'm also a nurse right now at the same time. And I got to go to work, but I got to do this too. Don't put yourself through that. Start figuring this stuff out now. Put it on a spreadsheet so you have it, right? And I've got students in my accelerator class. Yeah, have a good day, Chris. Thanks, man. Good to see you. I've got students in the accelerator class where they've put together their spreadsheets over the last 4 weeks, and these spreadsheets are so beautiful, outlining their entire team. I've been telling my students, hey, take that spreadsheet and give it to the lender, because this is really going to impress this person that you got it together, right? That's a great first impression to have with someone, right? Which is awesome. Just made a mistake of not asking to see the list, and the borrower did not have a licensed real estate lawyer. Okay, all right, that's not good, especially coming from another lawyer. Right? What's going on there? So it's good that, stick to the procedures, right? Stick to the, make that part of your system, make this part of like a checklist, make sure you're asking for these things, right? So again, everyone's situation is different. Everyone has different goals and different things of this nature. But you guys are in the right spot. So if you keep logging in every week at Thursday, we're going to keep coaching and doing. If you want to like really pick up and run with this, I highly recommend you click that link that Jose just posted there, set up a blueprint. They call it a blueprint because everyone's unique. So it's like, where do you want to learn? Where do you want to network? Where do you want to grow? Let us know. And we can tell you within Private Money Club, all the different stuff that we can do for free, which is awesome. So, like my wife, for instance, she teaches a class for Private Money Club that is about mobile and manufactured homes. Hey, are you guys interested in mobile and manufactured homes? Type it in the chat if you're interested in mobile and manufactured homes. I'm going to give you just a rundown of some of the manufactured home deals that we have going on right now. So right now we're wrapping up a fix and flip. We bought a property for $135,000. It's in Eastover, South Carolina. It's 6 acres and it's on a pond, a beautiful pond. It's not a brand new manufactured home, but it's like brand new condition. So we bought it for $135,000. We're putting $15,000 into it, and our real estate agent tells us that we should be listing it at $225,000. So and that's all happening probably less than 60 days. And yes, it will qualify for financing, right? So boom. These are opportunities. I should get her on here. Would you guys like for my wife to come on one week and talk about mobile and manufactured homes? Would that be cool? Okay, cool. Yeah, see? Okay, yeah, right, yeah. That would be cool. I think we can get her to do it. All right, so that's just one. In Sumter, South Carolina, it's about an hour from our house. We have a deal right now that we're buying on April 1st for $18,000. $18,000. We are funding it with private money. We could have used our own cash for that. The other one is also funded with private money. We could have used our own cash for the $18,000, but Christy is doing we are going to Salt Lake City for the private money tank, and she wants to have a case study about mobile homes and lending on smaller amounts for the community. So if you're someone on this call and you're like, I've got 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, and gosh, I can't get first position mortgages for $20,000. Well, we just gave someone one, right? And it was on a manufactured home. So we have a buyer right now for that property. We closed April 1st, but our buyers list, we had someone reach out and they're looking for something very similar. I think they'll probably buy it, and they're going to buy it for $38,000. So we're not going to do anything to the property. We're going to gross $18,000, and probably walk away with, I don't know, 15 or something like that after the paperwork and closing costs and things like that. We have another house. This was one more, and we got 3 minutes. Let's tell you about this one. Here's the deal with mobile and manufactured homes. As lenders, it's important to know these types of nuances, because there are a lot of great opportunities there. Affordable housing is at an all-time high. These are lower price points. So lenders need to learn about mobile home investing too, because whether you like it or not, it's coming. It's coming. It's already here. People love them, and the new ones are like phenomenal. They're great, almost if not better structurally than some of the stick-built houses that are being built. But we have a mobile home that we're buying from Chicago Title. So Chicago Title actually had to buy back the property because this manufactured home is 10 feet to the left on the neighbor's property. It's on the adjoining lot line, and that was a huge mistake. Not sure who made that mistake, but that was a huge mistake. So we are actually buying that manufactured home for $68,500. This is a beautiful house. We might put 5-10 grand into it. I don't know, maybe less. It doesn't really need a whole lot. It just depends on what we want to do. But initially, we were just planning on having a mover come in, pick it up, and move it over so it was back on the right lot fully, right, and correcting everything. We went out to the property. We looked next door. It's a vacant lot. So we're like, wow, this is fantastic. So we just called the owner of the vacant lot next door and said, hey, would you be willing to sell this lot? And they said, yeah, absolutely. So we're buying the lot for $35,000. We're buying the manufactured home and the other lot for $68,500. We no longer have to move it. The person that we're buying the lot from is actually going to market and clear the land as part of our deal. So now we have options. We can have one manufactured home on 2 huge lots, and we can list it for $175. So we're all in, like whatever that number is, right around 110, list it for $175 and as is. Or we could put another mobile home on the other lot, because at one point there was. So the septic's already there, the power is set there. So we could go find another mobile home. Now we got 2 properties that we could probably sell each of them for, around the 150 to 175 mark. And here's the thing, we're not doing any work. We're just paying people to move stuff, get stuff hooked up, get stuff inspected and things like that. So if you're a real estate investor and you're like, I always thought there was some money to be made with mobile manufactured homes, you're right. And maybe we can get my wife on a call here, teaching and doing. She's got a new class with Private Money Club starting up. It's 4 weeks. She calls it the Mobile Home Challenge. Jose, are you offering that to people? Like, can they enroll in that yet? I think it's when does she start? May. It's like the 3rd week in May. It's the day after our anniversary. So the 20th or the 19th. So pretty cool. So all different kinds of stuff. That's why they call it a blueprint. Private Money Club has really cool stuff for everybody. So just kind of figuring out where you get in, where you fit in, right? So, hey guys, it's 2:00. Was today's class valuable? Thumbs up, high fives, oh yeahs in the chat. Yeah, all right, cool. And all you first timers, well, I see you next week. Here's what I want you to do, okay? Here's what I want you to do. Make a move, okay? Don't sign off yet. Make a move. So a couple things. Take what I've learned. Today we talked about the importance of having a team. Who's on your team? Start building that out. If you have never had a blueprint call with Jose and the Private Money Club team, click the link. Get on a blueprint call with them. Right now, I do this every week. You should too. All you got to do is go, hey Siri, can you remind me to be on Noah's Private Money Club call at 1:00 Eastern time every single Thursday for the rest of the year? Done. All right. That's all you got to do. There, you made your move. Okay. If you haven't created a Private Money Club profile yet, there's a free option. Go ahead and do it. If you've been working the free option and you're like, all right, I'm ready to upgrade to premium, go ahead and do it. Make a move, right? Make a move. If you're interested in working with me on a more intimate level, with a small group of like 12 to 15 students at a time, a couple times a week, practicing this stuff and accelerating, accelerator coaching. We have another class that is starting May 6th. And it would be really cool to see everyone at the Money Tank event in Salt Lake City. If you haven't bought a ticket yet for that, you can go and hang out in person. And I think they also have virtual options where you can tune in virtually to the Money Tank event, which is kind of like Private Money Club's flagship meetup event in Salt Lake City, which is cool. Website link. Yeah. So Tony, you just click that link there that Jose has, the blueprint link, or you can give them a call at that phone number there, and then they can send you everything and talk about what they do and all that stuff, right? Cool. All right. Awesome, guys. I can't wait to see who else has career day coming up. I hope you guys go out and build some great relationships with ChristyDuckett.com. ChristyDuckett.com. That's my wife's website, ChristyDuckett.com. My kids ripped off all the keys on my keyboard so it doesn't type fantastic. There's my wife's website, so you can go and check it out. And we can be friends on social media. All right. Cool. Awesome. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. I'm signing off. Happy investing, and I'll see you next time. All right. Bye.